Hello, today we are solving Jan 2023 Unit 2 question number 1 Part E. Evaluate the future of the 4 mines in 2023 using the figures calculated and any relevant factors. So now in the earlier part of the question we had calculated what is the quantity of aluminium is being extracted by each mine, what are the fixed cost for each of these mines, what is their variable cost they have given, and also what is the profit and loss generated by each mine, and we had also calculated contribution per kg of aluminium for each of the mine in 31st December 2023. So using these factors you can calculate and comment. You can take one figure like contribution, like Alcaran, it made a negative contribution, and you should say it should stop production in short term as it is going to make a loss. We had calculated in the earlier, it was in the earlier year in 2022, it was 2, selling price was 2.2 and it's going to fall, expected to fall per 2 per kilogram, probably there is a decreased demand or something. So then because of that it's going to make a loss next year. You will calculate like that and say you have to say what is a positive and the negative contribution. Here for carbide you can say it is not making a positive or negative contribution because it has contributed to 0, and so you can continue in the short term but you have to stop it in the long term. If something has a positive contribution you should continue in the short and the long term. And if you are seeing another positive contribution for Dalamora, so of 3 pence per, it should continue in the short term but probably in the long term it can make a loss in the next year. You can suggest like that. So you have to say this, but however you should be able to say that these are only estimated price and the projections you have done. Is the market price going to stay at this lower level in the long term? Is it going to be like 2 or it might increase also in the future? You don't know. It might be a short term phase. You can indicate that. And also perhaps you have underestimated the market price, which may enable more mines to stay open. If you say there is only going to be 2 per kilogram is the estimated projection and it is a wrong estimation, you might shut down, but when actually those mines could have run. You should say in the however point. And you can also say that you had calculated some apportion cost through the office overheads, so you can say that by reapportioning you can still make the mines to stay open. And is it possible for the mines to reduce the cost in order to remain in the production? Then if Alcaran closes in the short term, what effect will it have on the others? You have to consider, because if there is a reduction in production, then what happens to the price of the aluminium will change, because the quantity supplied is going to get affected than the demand, so the price of the aluminium might get affected. So for example, the demand from the customers might still be high, so but the quantity supplied might get reduced, so this can affect the cost and the revenue of the businesses. So then in conclusion you can say that Bonitas might do well because of higher positive contribution. It has higher positive contribution per kilogram than any other mines, and Alcaran might have a negative contribution and it might need to shut down as it can result in a loss and it probably is inefficient. You can say others might continue to operate if they are able to reduce their fixed and overhead costs. So you can shut down Alcaran and reduce the fixed overhead costs also, and bring in lot of efficiency, and you can continue to operate. You can give any form of conclusion you like, but the major one is what you had calculated. Using that you have to argue how the mines are performing. So here the last one is about the contribution, and the profit and the loss. So you can talk about those with the argument.